Thank you for browsing page 121. Today we're going to look at challenge number 51, now monthly. I'm sure I was excited when I saw that on the cover. We get a Twilight 2000 adventure, Mega Traveler, and Cyberpunk 2.0 2.0. Cyberpunk 2020 maybe? I don't know. Let's take a look at what we get inside. Solaris 7, one of the best products I think that was ever put out for Battletech. It's the game world where all the gladiatorial type combats take place for battle mechs, and big money can be won betting and such. It's a really good thing. I looked at it a few years ago on the channel. This is from 1991, FASA out of West Sussex, Britain. And then we have an ad for Dark Conspiracy, coming soon, coming in June, GDW Games. An ancient horror grips the earth. Dark Conspiracy is being rebooted by Mongoose. It's going to be interesting to see what they come up with. GDW out of Bloomington, Illinois. I miss GDW. And then we have the table of contents for Challenge, the magazine of science fiction gaming. And this was out in 91. Yep, copyright 91. All the good stuff we've got coming. And then we have from management, so it's an editorial. We have letters from our readers. And an ad for Illuminati, the play-by-mail game of conspiracy and intrigue. Flying Buffalo Incorporated, Scottsdale, Arizona. And it's trademark of Steve Jackson Games. Never played that. Black Siberia for Twilight 2000. This an adventure set in Siberia. Oh, it's a prison camp known as Black Siberia. Okay. Played a little bit of Twilight 2000. Not a ton. Going through our adventure. Nice layout of the camp. And there you go. And that's the end of it. And then we get standard operating procedures for Twilight 2000. Okay. And then we have Kirag, a research station for Mega Traveler. Loved Mega Traveler back in the day. Really did. I still read some of the Mega Traveler stuff just because I enjoyed it so much. So this is a woman working for Mega Corporation Hotels at Sea approaches you to deliver cargo to the main world system of 728-907. There you go. And we go to Kirag Research Station. Oh, nice layout of the station. I do remember reading this adventure. I do remember liking it. I was going to run it, but like many Mega Traveler at the time, I just didn't get a chance to. And then we have an ad for, as we finish our adventure, enlist now for a new style of adventure. How many times you played a war game, read a history book, or thought, hey, what would it be like? 20th Century Tactical Studies Group wants you to participate in World War I, II Vietnam reenacting. And these guys were out of Cape Girardeau, Missouri. Behind Blue Eyes by Charles E. Gannon. Not for the name for the Who song, I'm sure. It's just a coincidence. But we have episode 3 of it going on for the Mega Traveler adventure. I remember reading this adventure. It was a good one. Thieves Guild Hall in Traveler. Mega Traveler, to be proper. There you go. A long adventure. I liked when there was a lot of Mega Traveler in these issues. Coming to the end, we get Twin Engine Gaming presents Out Time Days, a game of time travel in an alternate dimension, and Space Combat, a game of pure tactical combat in a rather unique environment. And Twin Engine Gaming was out of San Jose, California. And then we have a fine ad for Digest Group Publications out of Woodburn, Oregon, for The Flaming Eye, Vlani Vargir, Starship Operator's Manual, 101 Vehicles. All excellent releases. This is my favorite of the one shown. I think it's one of my favorite source books of all time for any game. Mega Traveler from DGP. Then we get Traveler News Service. Yay! I love Traveler News Service, keeping us aware of what's going on in the rebellion. Today's date was 187-1121 to 263-1121. All the goings on. And then we have Ingersoll's Matrix System. Is this part of that? I'm not really sure what the heck this is. Oh, the map of the Shadowrun scenario in the name of Finland in Challenge 48 was incomplete. Challenge regrets this error. So there you go. There's your Matrix System map. And then Ned Neutron in Limos and Lizards. And then we go to Space 1889. A game I never really played. It was nothing of any real interest to me, unfortunately. But GDW went big on it, and had some good success with it. 2300 AD, Operation Backdoor, Episode 3, Saboteurs and Skullduggery. 2300 AD, I did play a little bit of that. And then we have an ad for IHC's Rocco Mini Tanks, Half the Battles Won. Look at these, International Hobby Corp out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Those are nice looking models, actually. Going through the 2300 adventure, we have an ad for Air Power, the Journal of Air Combat Gaming, a newsletter for the serious air gamer with emphasis on GDW's air support and air strike. Out of Air Power Publications, LaGrange, Georgia. And then we have the technology. We have the technology. We can rebuild you cyberspace from Iron Crown Enterprises. Yes, Iron Crown Enterprises jump into the cyberpunk genre. I didn't have it. I saw these on the shelves, but I never bought it. And Challenge Conventions. Get in your time machine or just go backward around the sun or whatever it takes to do it. And there you go. You can go to your Challenge Conventions 36 years ago. Subscribe today to 2300 Resource, the quarterly journal for the 2300 AD Gamer. And these guys were Resource Publications, Santa Barbara, California. And The Scroll, a quarterly publication dedicated to the world of role-playing, $10 per year from Sage Lore Productions, Portland, Oregon. Challenge Briefs. This is what's coming out. Oh, there you go. Mega Traveler 2, Quest for the Ancients. I have that. Can't play it or anything, but I do have it. Chill Companion, Digest Group Publications, second 104-page volume of the Mega Traveler's Alien series. Soleimani and Aslan have that one. Promotional materials for the new RPG AI Adventuring in the Techno-Fantastic Age from ICE in July. And then we had Heroes of Yesterday and Tomorrow, Nautical Aviation, West End Games. They were publishing Torg at the time. And then Steve Jackson Games, of course, GURPS. And then we have an ad for Share the Adventure, High Colonies, the science fiction role-playing game out of Waterford Publishing from Vancouver, British Columbia, up in Canada. And Paper Mayhem, the informative play-by-mail magazine. I'm not familiar with these guys. Paper Mayhem was out of Ottawa, Illinois, downstate Illinois. Damsels in Distress. And this is for Shadowrun. Shadowrun's not a game I played. My son Adam played quite a bit in college. I just never really encountered a group that was playing it, and I didn't really care either way about it. GDW product distribution. Yes, they were worldwide back in the day. West Germany, no less. Look at that. Right around the time the Berlin Wall was falling. Curiosity Killed the Cat for Cyberpunk. So there you go. A nice adventure for Cyberpunk. Another game I really didn't play. I was aware of, but didn't play. Star Trek, Gaming with the Prime Directive. Yeah, Prime Directive and Star Trek. Don't get me started. Can't interfere with a society? Watch me. For the Star Trek RPG. Played a little bit of that. Taming the Terrible Trivia. This is for time-saving tips for referees of 2300 AD, Star Trek, Mega Traveler, and other systems. Okay, that's pretty neat. I may have to reread this. A little GMing advice. I always like those. American Gamer, the newest gaming magazine from Cherry Hill, New Jersey. They're going to tell us what's going on in gaming. That's pretty cool. A Time for Overkill for Silent Death. I had forgotten that Silent Death was represented in these pages. I enjoy Silent Death a great deal. If you follow my channel, you know that. I've done 6 or 8 Silent Death videos. And this is how to deal with the Overkill. First expansion for Silent Death. I got into Silent Death in the mid-90s. Silent Death's a great game. Mega Traveler from Seeker Game Systems. These guys put out some really nice stuff. All these starships. I have all these guys. 2300 AD. I don't have those. Mega Traveler, Lords of Thunder. Consumer Guide, I don't believe I ever saw that. I wonder if that didn't come out. And then Hexatile, Terrain Maps and Buildings, and then Corporation Building. I don't have that one either. I have Lords of Thunder. I don't have any of those. Again, I don't know if that Consumer Guide ever came out. Games were so twitchy in the early 90s because role-playing was tailing off a bit. Warrior's End, a Mech Warrior role-playing table for Battletech. Battletech Mech Warrior, the role-playing game. We played that a little bit. The only problem was that every time you got in your mechs, it just became a game of Battletech. Join the epitome of gaming euphoria. Gen Con in 1991, from August 8th through the 11th, 91. I did not go to that one. I was a new dad and very busy with that. But they were up in the Mecha Center in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And Challenge Reviews, Star Wars Rebel Alliance for West End Games. I never read that book. I did play some West End Star Wars. I really liked it. And then we have an ad for Isaac Asimov's science fiction. This year, Enter Another Dimension. So you could get some science fiction, the Isaac Asimov magazine, out of Red Oak, Iowa. And then some more reviews. Ashes to Ashes, a Renaissance wife wolf for Renaissance in Games. And these guys were out of Stone Mountain, Georgia. And that's the end of the article that had been going. And then we are the future of play-by-mail gaming, the next empire. Cyborg Games, MasterCard and Visa accepted. Cyborg Games out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Stop playing games. Challenge is a great magazine. But when you're ready, ready to read the rest of the story, read The Game Oracle. I don't know of The Game Oracle. 6 issues for $6. Hollywood, California. Anything comes out of Hollywood's got to be good. We can all attest to that. And then with Challenge Classifieds, I always read these, just see if there's anybody in my area looking to sell, trade, buy, whatever. And then the Gulf Crisis, a whole new approach to role-playing. So when the Gulf War was going on. And these guys were out of Headington, Oxford, England. Continuing out our personal ads, basically, for gamers. Voyages SF, can't get enough ideas for your campaign? You can buy SF from Starlands Publications out of Mesa, Washington. I have a few issues of that lying around here. One wasn't bad. And then we have your feedback opportunity for this issue. What's coming in next issue? In issue 52, we're going to get Twilight 2000. Mega Traveler, some fire-breathing dragons. I don't remember that one. 2300 AD, Space 1889, and more. And then feedback results from Challenge 49. And Cosmic Encounter, coming in August from Mayfair Games out of Niles, Illinois. Niles, Illinois is just in the north suburbs of Chicago. Cosmic Encounter, I do not remember. Join the Party, Tales from the Floating Vagabond, Avalon Hill Game Company. I saw this on the shelves, but again, it wasn't what I bought. Unfortunately, in the early 90s, our group had contracted significantly. There were only about 4 of us playing at the time. And as I said, I was a new dad, so I didn't have as much time for gaming as I had previously. So the forces combined, plus there was basically a depression coming into the role-playing community simply because the RPGs of the 80s just weren't really carrying over very well. And there was a little bit of fatigue and just a general loss of your audience. So we saw a lot of RPGs advertised that didn't come out, or they'd come out but they'd fold immediately, that kind of thing. So it was kind of a rough time to be an RPG fan through the early to mid 90s at least, and arguably the entire 90s was kind of tough to be an RPG fan. But a lot of good stuff came out in that decade. And I have a ton of it, and I still enjoy it, so not all a loss. But there you have it. That's a look at Challenge issue 51 from 1991 from Game Designers Workshop. Let me know what you think. Did you enjoy Challenge magazine back in the day? I always did. I always looked forward to it, and I was really happy when it became monthly. I think it stays monthly now. It only went to about issue 77 or thereabouts, and I believe it stays monthly from this point forward. I could be wrong toward the very end. But that's all I've got to say today on page 121. I thank you for your time. Thanks for watching. Please leave any comments below. Like and subscribe. Tell your friends. Let's keep growing the channel. Also, please take a look at the Patreon. See if you can help me out there. But that's all I've got for today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.